Okay, with example 6, mixtures and concentration, you only have to be careful whenever you read a problem to make sure that you label the correct variable. For example, I have here a manufacturer of soft drinks advertises their orange soda as naturally flavored, although it contains only 5% of orange juice. In here, X definitely is not 5%, but there's going to be something that we're going to figure out later on the question. It says a new federal regulation stipulates that to be called natural, a drink must contain at least 10% fruit juice. How much pure orange juice must this manufacturer add? And this is going to be our variable to the 900 gallon of orange soda to conform to the new regulation. Here, 900 gallons of orange soda has currently 5% of orange juice. So whenever we think of percents, we're going to think of parts of a whole. This means for every 100 gallons, you have 5 gallons of orange juice, and then the rest, I don't know, water, carbonated water or something like that. So the idea here is that you don't have enough pure orange juice in this 900 gallon to conform with the law. So we just need to add pure orange juice. We don't need to add more water, or we don't need to add carbonated water. So I'm going to add X gallons of orange juice. Now I want to use the same units as this 900, so that when I get my answer, if I get a decimal, at least I know an interpretation of it. So okay, let's set up an equation knowing how many gallons of pure orange juice I have. So I know that at the beginning I have 900 gallons of of soda, and for every 100 I have 5 of orange juice, pure orange juice. So I'm gonna take 5% of this. Taking 5% of this will make me say, okay, 0.05 of this, meaning the word of means multiplication. So 5% of 900 means 0.05 times 900. So this is the juice at the beginning, okay? Now I know I'm gonna add X amount of gallons to conform with the law, okay? So this is the juice I will add. So my equation is about juice. This is the amount of juice that was at the beginning. This is the amount that I'm going to add. And then what I want to conform with the law it says that whatever amount of gallons that I have at the end, 10% should be juice. So 10% of the amount of gallons of soda that I have. Now I don't have 900 anymore because I'm adding X gallons to it. So 900 plus X would be the amount that I have at the end. Alright, so the rest is a piece of cake. The multiplication of this two gives me 45 plus X equals 10% of 900 will be 90 plus 10% of X. Notice how I put 0.10. I could put 0.1 because they are the same. And then I notice that I have the variable on different sides of the equal sign. So I must get rid of the variable on one side and bring it to the other. Since this is coefficient 1 and this is coefficient 0.1, I'd rather have my variables with positive coefficients. So I'm going to get rid of this 0.1. But you could have gotten rid of the plus X as well. It doesn't matter. So it disappears on this side, and then I have 1 minus 0.1, that is 0.9 of X. And the 90 and the 45 didn't go anywhere. And then I subtract by 45. 0.9x equals 45. And then I just divide both sides by 0.9. Then I find out that x equals 50. So how many pure orange juice need to be added? 50 gallons of pure orange juice should be added. Bam, that's my beautiful answer. Now in example 7, it says time needed to do a job. So think of a job as some whole piece. Okay, this is the entire job, and part of it will be done by somebody or something, and then the other part will be done by somebody else or something else. So let's read it. Because of an anticipated heavy rainstorm, the water level in a reservoir must be lowered by 1 foot. So that sounds like the entire job. The entire job, we need to drop the water level. Opening spillway A lowers the level by this amount in 4 hours, whereas opening the smaller spillway B does the job in 6 hours. How long will it take to lower the water level by 1 foot if both spillways are open? So definitely, if one does it in 4 hours and the other one does it in 6 hours, if you have to choose to open either one, definitely you will choose the one that takes less hours. However, they are saying that they are both going to be open, so the job overall is going to take definitely less than 4 hours, because spillway A is going to get help from B to do the entire job, so it's going to be even less than 4 hours. So let's say that the job is lower the water by 1 foot. Which spillway would do more? The faster one or the slower one? So in here, which one is the fastest? Compare A to B. Doing it in 4 hours or doing it in 6 hours, definitely faster is doing it in 4 hours. So you know that spillway A will do it faster and will probably help a lot more than B to lower this. Now, the only thing you have to make sure is about whatever units that you have when you set up an equation. Whenever I'm comparing two things, in here I'm comparing hours to feet, so let's just be consistent with the time. I know that the entire job needs to be 1 foot, so whatever it is that I have for an equation, that has to equal to 1 foot. But what I'm gonna add is gonna be distance, because only distance plus distance will give me distance. You will never add two speeds and get distance. So let's just be consistent with the units. So I know that I have to add what a spillway will do in feet to whatever spillway B does in feet. Okay, so let's say that this one does 0.6, the other one will do 0.4, that gives me 1, or whatever it is that it comes out to. So they are both going to run at the same time, because the question is says how long. I don't know how long, maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. So the time is what we don't know. So X is the time both are open. Okay, so what gives us distance if I know the speed and if I know the time? Well, if I'm going 60 miles per hour in the highway and I drive for 2 hours, I know that I went 120 miles total because I multiply the speed by the time. So this is exactly what we're gonna do. What is the speed of the spillway A? It does 1 foot in 4 hours. Okay, times, you know that if you're adding a fraction that has feet over hours, you're not gonna get feet, so I have to multiply it by X hours. So I know now that ultimately hours and hours will cancel out, so I'm gonna have something that has feet as units. Now a spillway B, we have this speed, it does 1 foot in 6 hours. and I'm gonna multiply that by x hours because that's how long I have Spillway B open. And I know that the hours will cross out, so I have feet plus some other feet, I have feet. So everywhere feet. Now let me just write this equation without any units because I already made sure that the units match. So this would be 1/4 of x plus 1/6 of x equals 1. Or I could say x divided by 4 plus x divided by 6 equals 1. That is the same thing. Okay. Now here on the left of the equal sign, I notice that I have like terms, so I can add 1/4 plus 1/6. How much is 1/4 plus 1/6? I don't know. So let's do it. 1/4 plus 1/6 of x equals 1. So I can multiply this by 6 and this one by 4. It won't be the least common multiple, but at least it will be very fast because I don't have to think about what is the least common multiple. But you know the least common multiple is 12. But do it in any way you want. Okay, so I have 6 plus 4 over 24. X equals 1. 6 plus 4 is 10 over 24. Then 10 over 24, that is 5/12 of x equals 1. I just simplify half and half. Now 5/12 cannot be reduced. Now what number times 5/12 gives me 1? You are right, the reciprocal. So x is 12/5. Or you can think of it this way. If you failed that lesson on reciprocals in 6th grade. I have this equation. How do I get rid of the 12 that is dividing? Multiplying. So I have 5x equals 12. And then how do I get rid of the 5 that is multiplying? By dividing. So x equals 12/5. So you see, you get the same answer by thinking or the same answer by doing it step by step. Either way, it's fine. I'd rather if you just reason this, but if you don't, then that's fine. So now let's just go back to our problem and let's try in English. How long will it take to lower the water? It will take so what is 12/5? I was gonna say 12/5 hours, but nobody talks like that, so we're just gonna write it in a way that everyone will understand. It will take 10.4 hours. Okay, I just divide 12 by 5. Or what you can do is you could say, what do you mean 10 hours? This is Willie's phone. No, just kidding. 5 goes into 12 how many times? 2.4 hours. Okay. Yeah, I reasoned it, you see? This is perfect teachable moment. It had to be less than 4 hours, so 10 hours is ridiculous. Okay, 2.4 hours.